We don't need that necessarily to tell us we ought to be transitioning out of coal. There shouldn't be any more coal-fired power plants permitted anywhere in the world. That's how you can do something for health. And the reality is that we're not doing it.
John Kerry at the UN Climate Change Conference in Dubai, driving a stake through the heart of the U.S. coal industry, putting thousands of jobs on the line as the Biden administration pushes its green agenda. Let's bring in our Fox Business panel. Brian Brenberg, co-host of the Big Money Show, excuse me. It's Big Money. Big. Yeah, big. And anchor David Asman. I was just thinking, David, that John Kerry didn't seem to say that when he was sitting at the table with President Xi 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Well, there's a lot he's not saying here about China in particular, and you wonder why. John Kerry's saying no more coal plants, while we are not only buying all the ingredients for electric vehicles from China, but we're subsidizing them as well. So we're buying and subsidizing batteries that are built, by the way, in China's coal-powered plants. 58% of all their energy comes from coal. They build more coal-fired plants than the rest of the world combined, and we are subsidizing those coal-fired plants in order to buy the EVs from China, or the EV ingredients.
I think it's every 14 days they open up a new one, don't they?
That's right.
They got a ribbon cutting every 2 weeks.
But here's what's interesting. So we know China's building coal plants, permitting coal plants, but you look at countries like Germany or Italy or European countries that suffered under shortages of natural gas, they're consuming more coal now than at any time in the last 3 years. Why? Because they need reliable energy too. So John Kerry is talking about a goal that even his allies in the EU can't buy into because it's disconnected from reality.
And by the way, the EU has designated natural gas now as a green energy. And meanwhile, the Biden administration is saying we got to get rid of natural gas as well. It's not just coal. Because of natural gas, we have lowered our pollution levels dramatically over the past 20 years, and now they want to get rid of natural gas, even though EU has called it a green energy. I mean, it's total confusion.
Let me try and squeeze this in. There was that picture going around over the weekend from Munich, right? They had a blizzard, I think, and there was the private jets that were going to fly to this summit in the UAE. They were literally frozen to the tarmac. But the host, Sultan Al Jaber, I think I'm saying that right, at the COP28. COP stands for Conference of the Parties. It's a terrible name, by the way.
I hate the name.
I mean,
actually, I love the name because I don't love what goes on at the conference.
It sounds Soviet. So he comes out and he says there's no science or scenario out there that says the phase out of fossil fuel will achieve what you want, which is a reduction of global temperature by 1.5 degrees. Whoa, well, he's hosting the thing.
He is. He also runs the oil company there, so he's got a couple different reasons for not wanting to phase out fossil fuels. But what he's actually saying is realistic. Look, whatever the future is going to be, fossil fuels are part of it. They're going to have to be. So why don't we think about cleaner fossil fuels? Instead of going to coal, which is twice as dirty as natural gas, why don't we get on board with things like natural gas, maybe nuclear energy? That's why Germany and Europe are in a bind, because they said no to all these things, and now they're having to go back and say yes to coal.
And we could have provided liquid natural gas to the Europeans before Russia invaded Ukraine, by the way, before all of their natural gas supplies were threatened because of Russia turning off the spigots. So we had the power and the determination, and we had already begun building all these ports for liquid natural gas that were going to fuel Europe with natural gas, which would lower their pollution levels. Instead, we end up buying, dirty oil from Venezuela and from other countries that have the dirtiest burning oil imaginable.
Could you speak, Brian, to what it means for U.S. jobs, either in the coal industry or in other industries, and what this kind of mentality
what
the future is?
Just to be very clear, a unrealistic, fanciful call like John Kerry's to move away from fossil fuels is destructive to the most stable, remunerative blue-collar jobs in America. If you want to make America strong, if you want to help American workers, you would say, use our competitive natural advantage. By the way, that's what China's doing. That's why they're burning coal, because it's a natural advantage of theirs. We could outcompete them if we used our natural advantage and advantaged our blue-collar workers in the process.
Just one more point. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you do. Nuclear energy has such a bad name, right? Which governor in America would have the guts to go ahead and build more nuclear power plants?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Because they get a lot of attention.
You may have a
and
Democrat.
likely they get a lot of support.
Yes.
I mean, they've been doing this in France for a long time, David.
Right. You may have a Democrat, somebody like the Democrat governor of New Jersey might do something like that, to be on the fringe side, to be providing some helpful suggestion about how to burn clean energy that isn't necessarily something that won't provide the power like coal, solar and wind power doesn't provide enough energy that we need. Nuclear power would do that. I would look at New Jersey as one potential.
He's the one that wants to do all the wind power off the.
Well, but
I think Pennsylvania. If you want to pick a governor,
perhaps.
let's pick Shapiro.
But remember how his backbone kind of got pretty weak when it came to school choice. At first, he went out for it. Then, when he was attacked by the left, he bent on that issue.
Gentlemen, thank you. Green energy's coming. It'll be here. It'll be here when the consumer wants it. And we're going to look back on our techniques now and laugh at them.
Yeah.
That we're building turbines in the Atlantic Ocean to give us green energy. I mean, we're going to be able to harness something really effective. But
let's just not laugh at the way we did it by impoverishing ourselves, right?
Yep.
Let economics work here.
And save the whales, stop the windmills.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.